cat for short, and I'm allergic to, well, I guess it, cats. This is the time of year where the absolute majority of people set up some sort of goal for the upcoming year. Usually like maybe one or two, but I'm going to be extra and go for 23 because we're going into the year 2023. Also, if you're interested in even more goals, by the end of the video, I'm going to link last year's video up in the cards and you can go ahead and watch that. I had very different goals from the ones that I have here for this current year. Number one is a morning routine. I've seen this all over TikTok, all over Instagram, whatever. I don't want to have a morning routine like them. I want to have a morning routine that actually starts my day right and makes me less anxious and just makes me be in less of a rush in the morning because I tend to sleep in as long as I can so that I can get ready in speed time. Number two is a weekly gratitude. I just did a challenge video actually on this topic with my 5-minute journal. I'm going to also link that in the cards up above. But for me, it was really hard to write down daily gratitude points, like bullet points. But I think if I do it weekly, it's definitely something that will be helpful. Number three is learning new recipes. I think many people can kind of see themselves in what I'm about to say, but I feel like I do the same recipes over and over and over again, and then I just start with something else that I've already done over and over again in the past. And I rarely add new recipes into the mix, and I definitely want to be more mindful of that next year because I just want to learn new recipes. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Number four is reading 30 plus books. And this is going to be super difficult for me because I'm just so bad at reading more stuff because I get lost in listening to music and podcasts, and then I just can't continue reading my books, no matter if it's a physical book or an audiobook. So I definitely want to be more mindful of that because I feel like if I listen to less true crime podcasts, I could definitely get through more books. So that's going to be something I'll try for next year. Number five is a medical check. I feel like I've not actually gone to the doctors and just had myself checked out thoroughly in forever. And it's definitely something I want to have done just in case. And I'd rather have them tell me you're completely fine, all's good, come back if you have symptoms. Number six is helping out my grandparents. My grandparents are elderly. They're 91 and 94, and knock on wood, they're still very healthy, but they've started to need help ever since the summer, and I want to help my dad and my mom take care of them as much as I can with my full-time job. But I just want to be there for them, and I don't want to look back on months and years and say, hey, I never went over there. Number seven is, in like brackets, building friendships. I feel like over like the last 2 years, ever since the pandemic started, I lost touch with so many friends because I just didn't have the opportunity to actually meet up with them. And now I feel like I really have to actively like get it back in touch to have a closer connection, because sometimes I'm like, oof, I haven't written this friend in half a year. That's not that great. So that's something I have on my list for the next year, and that I think will actually be really helpful for my mind. Number 8 is to be more social. This kind of relates back to what I just said, but I'm a very like inverted person, and I honestly don't really mind like going to work, leaving work, going to practice, leaving practice, and then just being home alone or with my partner. But I feel like it would be a good thing for me to just like be a little more social sometimes, stay a little longer at practice and just chat, stay a little longer at work and just chat. Like, it's okay to not always be productive. Next up is number 9. Number 9 is hosting our third now annual tradition of our cocktail party. It has gone so well over the last 2 years, like last year and this year, and I really want to make it into a tradition. That was something I had in mind from the start, but I feel like it's such a fun thing to host and just have people over. It kind of gives this feeling of something that's a tradition that we do all the time and that people remember, and we've already been told that it was so much fun, and when is it going to be next year, and I really love that, so I definitely want to keep it up. And I feel like all of us can think of some sort of tradition that we can have with friends, family, or co-workers, and just really stick to it and do it every year, because after 2 years it's tradition. Number 10, and this is probably the most important goal for the upcoming year, and that is planning my wedding, or more so planning our wedding. I am so over the moon and just so flabbergasted and lost for words, but because we're already planning to marry next year, I actually kind of have to get going and actually plan it. I don't have a dress yet. I don't have anything yet. We only have the venue and the date, and everything else is just open. But because we already have a date, there's basically a countdown already, and I'm not getting anything done. So I really have to kind of add deadlines for myself so that I can actually be a completed bride on the day and not just stand there and be yeah, I kind of knew about this day, but I forgot the planning part. Number 11 is a girls trip. I've been meaning to do this for 2-3 years, and this is one of the only things that I've still taken on as a goal for the next year, even though I failed doing it in the last 2 years. But I really want to do this. It's kind of always just been a struggle to find a date that will work, but I feel like my bachelorette's party, which I don't even have to plan, could count as a girls trip, depending on what we do. So that's that. Number 12 is planning dates. As I already said, I'm the type of person who really likes structure and routine. I go to work, I go to practice, I'm at home, and then I go to bed, and it all starts over again. And I really want to actually break up that cycle a little bit and be a little more spontaneous. But because I'm not actually spontaneous, I want to plan out dates, like date nights or date days on the weekends, so that we just have a couple of highlights that we can really look back on and not always just say, well, we were home because we forgot to plan something. Number 13 is taking another art class. My fiance's sister planned for all of us to go to an art class this year, and it was so fun. I actually have the pictures already up on our wall, and I also made a video of it, and I will link it up in the cards, and it was so fun. And I truly wouldn't have thought that it would be that much fun, but now that I know, I definitely want to do another art class in a different sort of craft, maybe making a vase, I don't know, something. It would be so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to whatever will come to mind. Number 14 is a goal none of us want to talk about, but we definitely should. It's about money. So, because we just bought a new car and we're planning our wedding for the upcoming year, we kind of have to stock up our emergency funds again, because we obviously spent it, or we are spending it. So that's something I want to keep in mind, just to be more thoughtful of the things I purchase, just so I know, well, I spend X on the car, I spend Y on our wedding, and now I have to put Z back into the bank so that whenever something happens, I'm not well, I spent all the money I saved on something else already. And to do that, incomes number 15. I want to add another stream of income, and that basically means to diversify the money I earn by just adding another stream of how I'm getting paid. Obviously, I go to work, and that's one stream of income, but that is my only stream of income. And whenever like that doesn't work out, obviously I'm left blank, and I don't want that to be a continuous cycle or problem. Number 16 is letting go of resentment. And this is something that I know will be extremely difficult for me. I thought I'd already done that and actually kind of checked it off of my list this year, but it kind of came back. There are people who used to be in my life who've done horrible things to me, and I'm just not a very forgiving person. I'm basically like, hey, cutting you off, don't want to be in touch with you anymore, but the pain is still there, and I just want to find some sort of way to let go of that completely. And that's where I come to number 17, which is going back to therapy. I thought I had let go of all of this resentment because I did go to therapy this year, but maybe like 5 months-ish, and then I was like, I'm cured, I'm perfectly fine, everything's back to normal. Number 18 is spending more time in nature. I am a track girl. I've done athletics for 13 years now. So that's something that keeps me like in nature, like outdoors a lot during like all year round. But nevertheless, I want to actually spend more time in nature. Don't tell this to my fiance because he loves hiking and I don't. But yeah, I want to find more ways to kind of be a more outdoorsy person, but not going overboard. And I think I have found a way already that I can do that. And here comes number 19. I want to explore my local area, and that would be Bavaria. I live in Bavaria, Germany, which is the biggest state of Germany and has, I think, around 10 million inhabitants, and it's like really large actually. And there are so many gorgeous places in this state that I've never seen, even if they're just like an hour or 2 hours of a drive away, because I tend to go to vacations like abroad and not like in my like circle or in my local state. So I feel like because next year we probably won't really go far, like travel far places and spend a lot of money because we have to save for the wedding, it would be the perfect thing to do. Like, you still get to travel, I still get to see new things, beautiful places, and I get to be outdoors and spend less money on travel. I feel like that's the most perfect thing I could do. Number 20, and this goes into a completely different like category of life, is I want to have a more sustainable closet. I've already started buying things secondhand, like cashmere like sweaters and like Burberry boots that I bought, but I want to do even more for that and like get into the habit of spending a good amount of money on good pieces, and also have them secondhand. So I don't want to just like buy fast fashion stuff, which I don't think I've really done in the last 7 years maybe, but still the things I did purchase probably weren't like the most sustainable, eco-friendly solutions. So yeah, I definitely want to dig a little deeper into that, find sustainable brands that I want to purchase from, and maybe even find secondhand clothing from them. We're nearing the end here. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Number 21 is non-toxic swaps. I feel like whenever I have to buy certain stuff for my kitchen or to clean or whatnot, I realize I don't even know what's in this. I don't know if this is like good for the environment or not. And then when I look it up, I'm like, oh my goodness, I should have known. The second to last goal, number 22, is reducing plastic. I am kind of lost for words every time I have to go throw out the plastic into like the plastic bin, because I'm like, this is so much stuff and we're just 2 people. Like, how can it be this much every, I don't know, 2 weeks? I don't think I will be plastic free like some other zero waste gurus, like Lauren, what's her name? Lauren Singer from Trashes for Tossers. But I will definitely look into her channel a little more so that I can find little bits and pieces that I can incorporate into my life. And then the last goal, and this is so unsexy, I definitely shouldn't have put it last, but now I've already done it, so there's that. I want to start separating my food waste from my normal waste, because I've heard that it's actually really bad to throw it all into one bin. Compost it, I don't know, but definitely it's supposedly better. It definitely makes sense for it to be better because they don't have to sort it. So yeah, I will try to do that in the upcoming year. And yeah, that's all of my 23 goals for the upcoming year. I hope to be able to accomplish as many as possible. I don't think I've overdone myself, but I definitely have to look at this list every once in a while. That's one of the most important things. You have to actually write this down somewhere, either physically or on your electronic device. That's what I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye!
And the German word of the video is Neujahrsvorsatz, New Year's resolution.
This is so odd to me. Like, I feel so, like, lost. I don't even know where to start. Whew.